welcome back to In Brief, the how to start an e-commerce business from scratch. About a year ago, I got the idea to start an e-commerce site after working with some e-commerce businesses over the past few years, writing copy and content. And it's been a longer and more challenging journey than I expected. And I know that with the pandemic going on, a lot of people have the idea, well, I'll start an e-commerce site because e-commerce sales went, just shot through the roof when we went into lockdowns. And we've all learned that we've got to take more control of our finances, more control of our income, more control of our career. And if starting an e-commerce site is something you're thinking about doing, then based on my experience, I just wanted to make 10 really short videos to release here on LinkedIn that would say, this is what we did. This is what we learned. Hopefully this is going to be helpful to you as you think it through. So this is the third episode, and we are talking about hiring a marketing agency on a shoestring. So if you have a lot of money, this probably won't apply to you. If you're like me and you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to do this on a shoestring budget, we wanted to talk about how to start marketing. And so with me is Glenn Turda, who's been helping me with Facebook ads and marketing for our loungewear line that we're selling online. So to me, the first thing that I started doing, of course, was I'll just look at a marketing agency that all I have to do is say, hey, I want to sell loungewear for men who are sitting at home, working from home. You can do what I'm doing right now, which is wear a collared shirt and a pair of basketball shorts. Or you can wear a collared shirt and, lounge pants or boxer shorts or underwear. And just be around your house. And as long as it's modest enough for your family or your roommates, you don't have to dress up every day anymore. So I thought about selling that. And then I was just going to hire a marketing agency. So I talked to a marketing agency that I've contracted with for years. They're experts in e-commerce, and they told me how much they charge. And I was like, oh, no. No, that would completely break my budget. I'll never have any money to buy products at all. So I tried another one online, and when I told them my budget, they said, come back when you have more money. So I realized that I wasn't going to be able to hire a one-stop shop who was going to do it all for me. I had to just find the individual people. And I thought, well, I'm a content writer. I can write the content, right? If we're going to have a blog, I can write that. If we're going to do audio, I have a podcast, I can do that. If we're going to have, I've written product descriptions, I've written copy for Facebook ads, I can do those things. I can't take pictures. I'm not a loungewear model, and I don't know anything about how to make this work on Shopify and how to actually put the ads out and create a campaign. But I knew that other people did. And here's, I'm just telling you my logic, okay, how I went through this whole process. I said, I know the US market because I've worked with enough companies to understand a little bit about who we are and who our buyers are here. And I can write in English, and I can write in English for American readers. But I don't have to hire somebody who's really expensive in the US to do the other parts of this for me. And I was working already with the guy in the Philippines. I think I told you I grew up in the Philippines. So I'll reach out to some people in the Philippines and see who's over there and if there's somebody who can help me out. And the first two guys that I talked to said, that's nice, but you don't have the budget even for working with the Philippines. Then they recommended you, and started working together. I think you got to hire, I'd be interested in your ideas too, but I think you've got to hire a marketing agency of some kind. If you're not a marketer, you can't market. And if you can't market, you can't sell. So you got to hire a marketing agency. You can't do it on your own, but you can build your own team by reaching out to a contractor to write, by reaching out to a contractor to do photography, by reaching out to a contractor to do your ads in your Shopify site. You can build your own team. So I know you work with a lot of e-commerce people, and this is what you do, right? You're a freelancer like I am. how does this work for you? How do you, from your perspective as a contractor, how does this work? I know you work with people in the US, you work with people in Australia, and you're in Quezon City. So why do people hire you, and what is it you provide, or someone like you provides to a new e-commerce site?
Actually, if you are just, let's say you are a e-commerce business owner, and then let's say you need a video creative, so you could outsource that and find that on, let's say, on LinkedIn or on or in any other platform, so that you could be able to save your save your time as well, and then save your money if in case you just have not enough budget. And then aside from video creatives, let's say you also need, let's say, Facebook ads or copywriter. So you could find to any like what I mentioned, to any freelance platform or to LinkedIn. So I think it is better if you could someone that could also do the Facebook ads or ad copy and then creative. So it is good as well, so that you could save your budget. So that's my perception here.
Mm-hmm. Um, Specifically, when somebody hires you, what can they expect? Or when somebody hires a person who does what you do, what's the result they're going to get?
Mhm. Actually, with regards to the Facebook ad, so it is you know, if you have good brands or big brands, so it is, yes, we have now a lot of data and assets that we could use. So unlike to the ecom that it is just starting out from scratch. So that's why we need to let's say you are just a new e-commerce owner, so we need to invest in buying data in Facebook ads, because they are big brands, they already establish,
Right.
and that they have enough data and customer that they could use as well in Facebook ads.
You froze there for a second, but I hadn't thought about that. So if you're saying that in our case, a group like Mac Weldon or MeUndies or Fruit of the Loom, they own so much data, they own so many photographs, they own so much video footage, they own tested lines of copy that they've got an SEO agency working for them. They've got a whole treasure trove of data. We don't have anything, right?
Hmm. Yes, in that case, if you could also outsource a photographer to shoot your products, and then to have to have a video as well, video creatives as well in your product, so it is good as well. So instead of hiring let's say a marketing agency for a photographer, you could hire a freelance photographer to lessen your cost as well. So
Uh-huh.
it is great as well.
So I think this is a question, and that it's not a nice question, but it's a question that exists in people's minds. Everybody knows it's cheaper to hire somebody in a middle income country than it is to hire somebody in the US, Europe, Australia, Canada.
Mm.
But I can't fly to the Philippines and interview you in person. I can't talk to
Mm.
your people who worked with you in the past. How do I know that you or somebody like you is legit? And how do I know that I'm not just going to write you a check and you're going to disappear, and I have no way of following that money or following you and getting what I need, because we're
Mm.
half a world away from each other, right? It's a 24-hour flight from here
Mm.
to Manila, and I couldn't find you anyway if I needed to like run you down. So people say, I know it's cheaper, but I don't want to spend money when I can't follow up with it, when I can't trace it, and frankly, when the person is just from a different country, there's this sort of barrier that goes up. How do you know? Yeah, Glenn's a legit guy. versus this person over here is trying to.
Mhm. Actually, with regards to the legitimate, you need to check his or her profile as well, so
His or
that
her
you could,
what
yes, his
profile?
or her profile,
Okay.
her Facebook or LinkedIn, something like that, so that you could know what he or she is doing as well. Or if you could also ask, let's say, some case study on the previous campaign that he or she worked on, something like that. So that's from that you could be able to know if this person is legit or not,
Mhm.
something like that.
Okay. No, I think that's completely fair. It's just it's hard for people to know because I get emails and phone calls all the time from what are obviously scammers